Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name's Sam Schultz. I'm joined by JT Bomb and Maurice Miller as your LPRT staff, bringing you live action from the Battle at the Beach, the LPRT season finale, Chesapeake, Virginia. In the court before you, you have Brenda Laime playing out of Bolivia on the left side, Carla Munoz playing out of Chile on the right side. You have the two Americans in the back in Holly Scott and Kehlani Lawrence. Holly getting her team in the box. Holly Scott and Kehlani Lawrence are current national champions for Team USA. Holly Scott winning the Triple Crown, singles, doubles, and mixed doubles. Set up off the back wall by Kehlani Lawrence, our hometown favorite here in Virginia. It'll be a half out. 0 serving 2. Up top, Scott trying to bring it down, just skips it into the front wall. The winner of this match will go on to face Montse Mejia and Alexandra Herrera tomorrow at noon Eastern Time. That one is short. Be a second serve coming up from Laime. They'll face Mejia and Herrera in the semifinals. The other set of the semifinals is already set. Great shot right there by Munoz. And you can tell Scott looking at that sidewall glass, gonna have to adjust to that. Laime that time unable to rush to the back of the court to get that ball. Munoz now in the box. Going to be a lob, it looks like, to the forehand of Scott. Short, second serve. Scott going up top to Laime's backhand. She'll bring it down. Both players there from Team USA. They got to talk and communicate back there. Both of them trying to go for the same ball. Laime now trying to tee off on that one. The Americans are all over it. Now a little communication issues for Laime and Munoz. Scott goes up top. Munoz gonna shoot this one. Skips it into the floor. Lawrence now serving for her team. Serving to the backhand side, wrapping around to the forehand. The whole crowd moaning and groaning as that one had skipped in. Scott and Lawrence still yet to get a point. Little incidental contact in the middle of the court. Laime trying to tee off again. Now it's Munoz's turn. Laime goes up top. Lawrence gonna bring it down. Scott, front of the court. Blasts one, but it's right at Laime. Blasts another, but it's right at Munoz. Munoz just slipping and falling down, going to that right side. Unable to get the ball back to the front wall. That'll lead to the first point in the match for Lawrence and Scott. One serving 4, backhand drive for Scott. Ends up short. Scott calls Lawrence off. Now it's Lawrence's turn to try her hand at it. It'll be Lawrence again at the back wall. She's going to go around the world. Laime takes a little half swing. And it will be a replay called by our head referee, Maurice Miller. Laime shooting it away from everyone on the court. Scott able to catch up with it. Tongue out like Mike. Just unable to get the ball back to the front wall. Holly Scott there trying to channel her inner Michael Jordan. Trying to get that ball flying through the air to the front wall. Great shot right there by Scott. Munoz now to serve. Laime goes up top. Scott now bringing it down. Laime controlling center court. Going up top. Laime and Munoz so far controlling center court, and that's been the difference. 5 serving 1 right now in favor of the international players. Lawrence now going up top to Laime. And Lawrence just hits Laime on the way in. That'll be a replay. 5 serving 1. Scott now shuffling all the way to the back, but having to go to a ceiling ball. So's Laime. This will be a setup for Scott on the right-hand side. She brings it down beautifully, gets some applause from the crowd. The crowd right now just on edge, wanting something to cheer for. Trying to get the ladies in white some momentum here. 1 or 2 good shots can swing the momentum in a major way for these ladies. A falling, diving get, an attempt by Holly Scott. Just unable to come up with it. Short serve right there. Be a second serve upcoming. High lob Nick. It's going to come off the back wall for Laime to shoot. There'll be a replay called. One serving 5. Scott in the box. Tries to rip another drive serve, but just short once again. Laime and Munoz back in the box now. Little inside out swing right there by Laime. Gets beat down the right-hand side by Lawrence. Laime now hustling to the back of the court. Laime again shooting. Lawrence and Scott back in the box. Lawrence wanting a hinder of some sort. It's going to be a court hinder there. Great serve right there by Kehlani Lawrence. The crowd appreciates it, and they get their second point here in game number 1. That one just long. Lawrence, a second serve now. Scott off the back wall, shot very well. Forehand pinch winner. 3 serving 5. Scott now back of the court, having to go up top for a ceiling ball. Kehlani now goes up top. Laime will bring it down. Who can put it away first? Munoz is going to try again. She does beautifully right there. Great concentration by Munoz. Scott now a very good Z serve. Has to go up top. Munoz going up top. Very patient game so far. Scott's going to bring it down. Scott with a little bounce off the side wall she wasn't expecting. Had to get it to work for her, and she does. Scott swinging for the fences, and she hits one. Hits it out of the park. Great shot right there by Scott, and it looks like Scott and Lawrence have found their groove now. After being down early, they're showing they know how to play and keep up. It's going to be an avoidable hinder. Five serving 5. A little conversation there between the players and the official, asking for some clarification. Long serve right there from Laime. Munoz trying to catch up to that one, but just unable to. 5 serving 5. All 4 of these players banging the ball around in there. Who can put it away first? Scott tries her hand. Munoz tries hers. Scott will try hers again. Now it's Laime's turn. Laime's turn again. Scott goes diving into the side wall and is just unable to come up with that one. Every player in the court had their opportunity during that rally. It's the team of Laime and Munoz who came out on top in that one. Lawrence that time, from above her shoulder, forces the offensive, and Laime unable to come up with that one. Great serve right there. No way to appeal. We don't have lines. Laime just going to tell Maurice Miller to please watch the ball in maybe not so nice terms. Regardless, she takes care of business on that next rally. 2-shot rally taken care of by Laime right there. Puts it away. Now Scott to serve. A wrap serve, wrapping all the way around to Munoz. Lawrence tried to put that one away, unable to. Coming off the back wall for Scott, and it's a great shot right there. by Holly Scott. A sweet, like molasses backhand right there. Smooth into the front wall. 7 serving 6. Lawrence and Scott on top by 1. Lawrence and Scott have to switch sides, trying to play defense, and defense turns into offense. A fist pump, some cheers from the crowd, and now on top by 2 is Scott and Lawrence over Laime and Munoz. A great shot right there. A little shrug of the shoulders, and nothing's going to break my stride, says Holly Scott. Timeout for Munos and Lime. Don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back here in 1 minute on the LPRT network. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Battle at the Beach, the LPRT season finale, and this is our final match of the night. It's a doubles match between Kaylani Lawrence and Holly Scott, Carla Munoz and Brenda Laime. Scott and Lawrence in control now, about halfway through game number 1. 9 serving 6. They are up over Munoz and Laime. Munoz and Laime out to the early lead. See what adjustments they made during that timeout and see how Scott and Lawrence react. Laime now stepping up in the center of the court. Scott diving, Lawrence lunging. Both futile attempts, unable to get the ball back to the front wall. Laime now serving it. Accidentally hits Laime's racket. Be a replay. 6 serving 9. That ball just took off as soon as it hit the ground. 7 serving 9. Laime's last serve was an ace. That's a tough one. Scott just gets a racket on it, and that's tougher. Just a little flick back to the front wall. Replay called. Munoz doesn't seem too upset with that call. It's going to be a replay again. Nope, correction, second serve. They're going to call that serve short. Lawrence steps up, sends it around the world. That's a tough Z-ball right there. Scott's going to try to bring this one down off the back wall. Scott again off the back wall. Just hits a racket straight into the side wall. Tough one to judge. Munoz and Laime clawing their way back into this one. They were up early, gave up the lead halfway through to Scott and Lawrence, and now trying to tie it up here. Laime from above her head. Scott will take it. Scott will take it again. Munoz now to shoot. Can't quite get it past Scott. Now it's Laime's turn, going up top. Scott off the back wall. Laime up top. Scott not quite off the back wall, and Laime will shoot this one. Lawrence, great get off the back wall. Laime's turn again. Lawrence, the racket spinning wildly in her hand, able to get the ball. And that time, Holly just unable to poke it back to the front wall. It's a point for Munoz and Laime, and it's all tied up at 9 serving 9. Good serve by Munoz, better return by Lawrence, and no one home on that left side for Lawrence and Scott. Leads to point number 10 for Munoz and Laime. Great serve right there. See what the call is. I didn't see the ball hit anyone. I think Maurice Miller, the referee, is a little confused as well. Looks like it'll be a point, 11 serving 9. Lawrence that time stepping up, cutting it off, shooting. Scott in the center of the court having to dive. No one's home on that left side, and Brenda Laime makes them pay. It'll be a timeout from Scott and Lawrence. Don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. We'll take a short break ourselves. We'll be back right here in about 1 minute. The Battle at the Beach, the LPRT season finale on the LPRT network.
I'm Carla Munoz, and I play with passion.
I play to be a role model for the kids.
I play for the adrenaline.
I play for the love of the game.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Carla Munoz in the box for the team of Munoz and Laime. Lawrence and Scott took the timeout, down 3, getting into the late stages of game number 1. This game could go either way still. Short serve right there for Carla Munoz. Bad time for a rollout. It's the only bad time for a rollout is during the serve. Tough lob serve right there by Munoz. She'll take this one in the center of the court. Now it's Laime's turn. Scott off the back wall. And Laime just misjudged the height of that one, trying to get it back to the front wall. Lawrence now. That little half overhead serve. Lawrence shooting now, and Laime unable to catch up with that one. Ten serving 12. Mid-height wrapping serve by Lawrence. It's effective. Gave herself a setup, but just unable to capitalize on it. Scott now in the box on the backhand side. 10 serving 12. Set up Lawrence back of the court. This is a bigger setup for Munoz, and Scott unable to get a racket on that one as it goes blistering by her. Laime in the box, 3 points away from victory in game 1. Scott falling to a knee to get that one. Now Lawrence shuffling back, taking it above her head. Such a tough shot right there by Holly Scott. It'll be a half out. Munoz now in the box for her team. See if she can get something going, continue the momentum that they've slowly built through the middle and ending parts of this first game. Good serve, set up Munoz, center of the court. Good get right there by Lawrence. Set up Scott, back of the court. This will be another setup for Scott. Munoz was all over it, and Scott just unable to get to that one. Full out extension by Holly Scott. Munoz to serve, 2 points away from victory. See if she goes to Scott again. She does. That time, not as good of a serve, but still somewhat effective. Seems like they're targeting Scott almost exclusively now on that left-hand side. Laime is going to take this one down and shoot. Laime took it down right into the hitting zone of Lawrence, and Lawrence put it away. That ball just skipped into the front wall, leading to a point for Lawrence and Scott. Lawrence and Scott 2 points away from Laime and Munoz. Laime and Munoz 2 points away from victory. Good get right there by Lawrence. Play continues, no call made. Up we go to the ceiling. Laime to bring it down. Up we go again. Set up, Brenda Laime. She put that one away very well. 11 serving 13. Let's see where Scott goes here. She goes to Munoz. Now Laime goes to Scott off the ceiling. They exchange ceiling balls back and forth. Laime, a tough backhand shot right there. Gets herself back in the box. Laime now, Z serve to Scott. That little cut return is so deadly. Very underrated return that Scott has. Slicing that ball, just putting it up in the front court into no man's land. Great return right there by Scott. 2 serves, 2 rallies, and no points made by the team of Munoz and Laime. That is huge for the confidence boost of Lawrence and Scott. Let's see if they can capitalize on that right here. Scott, center of the court. Laime caught up with it, lost it in the glass. They have 1 timeout left. They ask and then they take. Munoz and Laime take a timeout. We will too. Don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back here in just a minute. The LPRT Network.
Racquetball's new era begins in Vegas.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Sam Schultz for the LPRT Network. I am joined by Jay Josie, Maurice Miller, and JT Bomb for this exciting quarterfinals matchup between Holly Scott, Kaylani Lawrence, the hometown favorites. It's a great rally right here. Brenda Laime, Carla Munoz in the brown and white. Oh, and Brenda Laime puts that one right down the left side line. Wins that rally. Now Scott to serve. Drive serve coming from Scott. Munoz blasting that ball at Scott. Great get by Lawrence, but just unable to get that ball back to the front wall. Scott now stepping up, cutting that one off. Be a replay called. Laime firing for a second time. Kaylani getting it for a second time. Munoz now, center of the court. Kaylani gets it again. Munoz again. Lawrence again. Laime now in center court. Gets that one. Puts it away. 14 serving 12. Munoz and Laime in the lead. A spinning ceiling ball there off the racket of Scott. Laime had every shot in the book, but puts it right back at Scott. She gets it sliding down to a knee. Laime again. Now Lawrence gets that one. Off the racket of Munoz, and it just hits Lawrence in the foot. Munoz and Laime will take game one, 15-12 over the U.S. and hometown favorites in Lawrence and Scott. Don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. We'll take a 2-minute break. We'll be right back after some words from our local sponsors.
The mission of FSU Coach is to prepare and equip the next generation of coaches and sports professionals with best practices and current research to enable them to pursue excellence. We have 2 academic programs, the online graduate certificate, which is 4 classes, and also a 10-class master's in athletic coaching. Our graduate certificate and master's program can be started at any time, either the summer, fall, or spring. All of our classes have the word coach or coaching in them, and they're taught by coaches for coaches.
The types of classes that we offer focus on the athlete as a whole person. We focus on the theory and practice, the research, the helping skills, even some of the mental performance behind what it goes into being an athlete. I came to FSU Coach because I truly believed in the mission and the purpose of the program.
I think I have my dream job being a head coach at Florida State, but I know there's always more ways that I can help my athletes and better prepare as a coach, so I thought joining this master's program would help me learn different ways to attack my job. If you're interested in going into coaching or joining the FSU Coach program, I would just say don't even think about it and do it.
As we have a break in the action, and we'd like to thank some of our event sponsors: Avicta Security Services, Georgette Consulting, Fleet Valet Services, JKB Solutions, Jeff Wagner, Madison Trust, Excel Paving, Greg Giordano, Tidewater Landworks, Sven Cart Properties, Holland Cleaners, Costco, Bev Sputnik, and Citywide Auto and Truck Sales. Thank you for all of you that make this tournament possible. Without your sponsorship and donation to this tournament, we would not be able to come here and bring you this exciting racquetball we have all weekend long. See Lawrence and Scott hitting in the court before game number 2. They lost game 1. Their hope is to go to a tiebreaker here and force a game 3. Scott and Lawrence to serve first. It looks like it'll be Lawrence on her team serving first. Short serve by Lawrence, second serve coming. Backhand high Nick lob. Munoz is going to take it down the middle. Great shot right there by Scott. Puts it away for the first point on the board in game number 2, going to Scott and Lawrence. Someone's knee pad came off, either Laime's or Munoz. A little piece of it fell off, and they'll take care of that appropriately. Two serving 0. Lawrence serving once again for her team here. Good serve by Lawrence. It'll give Scott an opportunity. She goes up top with that. Laime trying to bring it down. Does so very well. Laime now off the back wall. Munoz this time with an opportunity. Munoz again. Shooting. Now it'll be Lawrence off the back wall. Laime sliding and just unable to get to that one. Munoz, second serve to Lawrence. Lawrence will take it with an overhand. Scott flicking it to the front wall. And that one gets by Munoz, and Laime just not ready for it. Lawrence and Scott in the box, no damage done. Three walls, second serve for Lawrence and Munoz. That high lob nick into the middle. High lob nick to Laime this time off of Scott's racket. She shoots it very well. Good serve by Laime. Give herself a setup in the middle of the court, but trying to shoot off of her back foot. Skipping that one. Still no points on the board for Munoz or Laime. Munoz now a Z serve. Scott trying to take it down. Scott tries an overhead. Laime just a nice little slice into the front left corner. Munoz now serving to Scott. We saw that a lot in game number 1. It works out for her there. 2 serving 2. That time, Scott lets it wrap around to her partner, Lawrence. And Laime unable to go track that one down the back right corner. Munoz tracking that one well. Scott, however, the perfect little swing into the front left corner. Skip right there off the racket of Lawrence. Excuse me, off the racket of Scott. Scott now to serve. Laime stepping up to cut it off. A beautiful three-shot rally. Lawrence was all over that return. Laime up top. Scott gonna take it down. Carla able to get it. Get a racket on it, make Scott hit one more, but it was a setup for Scott. 5 serving 2. Serve stayed just far enough off the wall where Brenda could shoot it. This is going to be a setup. Center of the court for Munoz. She puts it down. Scott just skips that one into the front wall. Munoz once again targeting her on her serve. Interesting strategy, but it's been paying off so far for Munoz and Laime. Laime now hitting that one down the left side. Great shot right there. Almost a fist pump before the ball had even reached the wall by Munoz. Munoz, high lob serve to Lawrence. Coming off the wall just a little bit. Laime taking that one with her forehand. Now one with her backhand. And Scott just unable to catch up to that one in the back of the court. That'll lead to the 4th point on the board for Munoz and Laime. Munoz now going back to a drive serve. Just gets it in on the hands of Holly Scott. And it's all tied up. 5 serving 5 early here in game number 2. Munoz and Laime took game 1. High lob serve from Munoz. Scott has to go up top. Scott shot that one beautifully down the left side. Five serving 5, Lawrence to serve. Good serve right there by Lawrence, causing Munoz to have to take it with her backhand. Just a little scoop shot right there from Munoz to get it to the front wall and sidewall, back wall. That ball was riding the walls weird and didn't allow Brenda Laime to get it back to the front wall. Long serve right there. Second serve upcoming. High Nick lob. This one Brenda Laime wants, and for good reason when you can do that right there. Forehand pinch winner. Scott trying to bring it down. Laime smooth hands. Five serving 6. Laime now serving. Lob serve to the backhand of Scott. Scott shooting. Munoz up top. Scott going up top. Munoz's turn. She'll go up top. Smooth hands once again by Laime. It'll be 6 serving 6. Little strategy talk in the back of the court by Lawrence and Scott. Munoz forced to go up top. So's Scott. Around the world goes Munoz. Up top goes Scott, and it just skips in on that ceiling ball. 7 serving 6. If Team USA doesn't get a side out here, I would anticipate a timeout coming for them. However, Lawrence there, way to get half of it, half out. Shot that ball very well. Munoz now serving for her team. Munoz trying to go to that serve. Gets Holly on her backhand. No longer surprising Holly with that serve, but still a tough serve nonetheless. Munoz goes up top. Lawrence shooting. Scott now in the center of the court. Munoz and Scott exchanging blows until it goes to Laime. Carla Munoz calls off Brenda Laime. Now it'll be Laime's turn from the back of the court. Lawrence able to get that one. Scott able to get that one. Carla off the back wall. Holly flicks that one to the back wall. Laime now off the back. Great diving get. Carla taking what arguably could have been Brenda Laime's ball right there. Now Lawrence in the back court. It's a firefight in the court. Who can put the ball down first? Neither one of these teams so far. Carla now shooting. Brenda, a great diving get. Setup. Holly Scott off the side wall. And Carla Munoz swings and misses. Applause from the crowd as they enjoy the hometown favorites winning that rally. Still down a point, 6 serving 7. Lawrence to serve. Scott stepping up to cut that one off. A slide and a dive from both players. 2 timeouts apiece, and Brenda Laime and Carla Munoz will call one right here. Don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back here 1 minute on the LPRT network.
Comprehensive warranty in the industry. Come see them at kwmgutterman.com. This is John Criswell for Manufacturing Marvels.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Team USA electing to stay in the court during that timeout. Lawrence and Scott pretty much stayed glued to their positions, didn't even really hit around, just ready to play. Laime and Munoz came off the court to strategize. That ball got in on the hands of Carla Munoz. She hit it, but hit it directly into the side wall. That's not the wall that counts. It's the front one that does. With that, it gives Team USA the lead, 8 serving 6. That's a great ball right there by Munoz. 8 serving 7. Team USA trying to find the weakness in Carla Munoz. Munoz trying to hang in there tough. 2 points since the timeout by Munoz and Laime. But Munoz and Laime were able to get a half out. Another drive serve here from Scott. Deep drive Z. Scott running up to cut that one off, and very well executed. Munoz got a racket on it, but that was about it. Great serve right there by Scott. 11 serving 7. Scott seems to be rolling here. Another good serve. Scott down to a knee to get it. Laime forced to go up top. Scott will shoot. Laime once again misjudging the height against that side wall. That's the second time we've seen her do that this match. Scores now 12 serving 7. Scott this time changing up the height, speed, and angle of the serve. Up top they go to Scott. Puts it away, forehand pinch winner. Carla Munoz confirming they have one more timeout, and they will take it. We'll stay right here during this timeout. We'll watch Team USA hit around in the court, and while we do that, we'd like to thank some of our event sponsors. Invicta Security Solutions, Georgette Consulting, Fleet Valet Services, JKB Solutions, Madison Trust, Jeff Wagner, Excel Paving, Greg Giordano, Tidewater Land Works, Svenkart Properties, Holland Cleaners, Costco, Bev Sputnik, and Citywide Auto and Truck Sales. Thank you for all of you that make this tournament possible. Get a little outside the court view, see the fans out there taking this time to check their phones, check the other draws that have been happening today, and saw Munoz and Laime strategizing a little bit there. Meanwhile, back in the court, on the second server, Scott for Team USA. Another drive serve and another good serve. Munoz can't believe it. I tend to agree with the referee. 14 serving 7. Scott wondering if she could serve while Munoz had her glasses off. Second serve here from Scott. This one's going to be the wrap. Scott goes up top. Carla to shoot this one. Now it's Scott's turn, and she does with fury. Holly Scott right there with the full force of her body behind it. Shoots that one into the front right corner. Lawrence and Scott will have the decision whether to serve first in the tiebreaker. Don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back in 2 minutes here on the LPRT Network. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, for the start of our tie-breaking match. Team USA serving first. Carla Munoz puts that one away. Brenda Laime now to serve. First one to 11 will be the winner. Scott's going to bring this one down. No, she goes up top. Laime now shooting. Lawrence up top. Laime shooting again. Now they're targeting Lawrence. Back to Scott. Up top she goes. Now it's Munoz's turn. Shoots from over her head. A replay will be the call as moans and groans come from the officials in the crowd. Munoz goes up top. Scott now shooting. Munoz back up top to Scott. She'll shoot again. Laime now. Great hands in the front of the court, and Lawrence unable to catch up with that one will lead to the first point for Munoz and Laime. Scott trying to dive into the back of Laime. Unable to get to the ball, but definitely impeded, so that will be a replay. Glad the referees in the crowd didn't have to take over on that call. Munoz now shooting. Scott getting out of the way of the ball she hit. And Brenda Laime puts it down again. 2 serving 0. Laime the first server for the international team. Scott now shooting over to the left side of the court. Munoz thinking that they have 3. Everyone else knowing that they have 2. Munoz now to serve. Lawrence, a thunderous blast cross court, but got by Laime. A little excuse me slice by Holly Scott, and it works out in Scott and Lawrence's favor. Lawrence now to serve. Going to be a wide wrap again to the backhand of Munoz. Seems like Team USA is trying to target Carla Munoz, and Munoz and Laime trying to target Scott. Good diving get there by Laime. And the call will be a replay. Team USA talking whether they should appeal or not. But without line judges, it's not much of a discussion. Carla Munoz now complaining to the referee. Going to be a replay now. 0 serving 2. Laime shoots that one up the middle. Munoz now shooting. And Keilani Lawrence finally puts that one away. Munoz shooting around the world it goes. Munoz, good get. Laime, nice hands into the front of the court. Puts that one away. Scott now to serve. Laime off the back wall. Scott, a beautiful forehand pinch winner, giving this crowd something to get behind. It's now all tied up, 2 serving 2. Lawrence shooting that time. Munoz unable to get it. Three serving 2. Lawrence and Scott lead for the first time in this breaker. Good serve right there by Scott. A diving attempt by Brenda Laime. The crowd starting to get very animated behind this USA team. Scott, a great swing right there, inside out. A little sliced into the front wall. Now 5 serving 2. Munoz and Laime considering a timeout, not going to take one. Munoz a little bit more confidently taking that wrap serve. Laime shooting. That's a great shot right there by Brenda Laime. Forehand reverse pinch winner. Munoz, no, now Laime serving. She'll be the first server for their team. Laime now taking 90% of the court. Doesn't pay off that time. Carla Munoz now to serve. Short serve, second serve upcoming. She's still trying to target Holly Scott on that first serve. Lob serve to Lawrence. Around the world it goes. Munoz puts it up top. Scott up top. Scott to Munoz. Munoz to Scott. Scott's going to swing at that one. Brenda Laime goes up top. Scott bringing it down. Laime up top again. Lawrence. Little miscommunication, but gets it to work out. It'll be a timeout taken by Brenda Laime and Carla Munoz. We'll take 1-2. Don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back here in 1 minute. The LPRT live. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Team USA once again electing not to come off the court, up 5-2. They're going to be serving. They get 2 serves here as Lawrence is the first server in their duo. Once again, another great wrap serve. That time, Carla shooting it as best she can. Now Laime off the back wall. Skips that one, splinters into the ground. Lawrence and Scott now up 6-2. Can they ride the momentum? Can they ride the crowd? Laime, great hands right there into the front of the court. Scott now to serve. Lawrence going as far back as she could to get that set up. Scott now shooting. Munoz goes up top. Scott shooting again. Munoz and Brenda combine for it. And play will be stopped. A replay called. A replay called. No one's sure exactly why, but Munoz and Laime are thankful nonetheless. Laime tries to take that one down and shoot it. She does, but skips it into the floor again. Score now, 7-2. Scott and Lawrence. ballooning this lead up as far as they can get it before they would eventually have to surrender the serve. Back to Munoz and Laime. An avoidable hinder. And it looks like Scott and Lawrence are not happy with that at all. I tend to agree with that call. That is by the book, an avoidable hinder. Laime now, backhand lob serve to Scott. Munoz up top to Scott. Scott goes around the world to Laime. And a ceiling ball to Lawrence. Munoz goes diving for it and unable to come up with it. Munoz's turn to serve now for her team. 3 walls the call. Munoz turns in disbelief to her partner, but then gets confirmation that the right call was made. Up top they go. Ceiling ball brought down by Lawrence with the overhead. Munoz is definitely going to shoot this one. She does. Scott sliding to try to get to it. Just unable to. Three serving 7. And a tether having to be retied. Time awarded by the official to retie that. That's done, and Munoz to serve again. Replay called. Neither team too happy with that. The front team a little bit more confused. The back team a little bit more unhappy. Regardless whether they're happy, confused, or whatnot, it will be a replay. Laime off the back wall shooting. Now Scott shooting. Laime again. Lonnie behind her back. Brenda Laime to Holly Scott. And Brenda Laime cannot dive to go get that one. Lawrence and Scott 4 points away from victory to bring themselves to the semifinals. Great get right there by Brenda Laime. It'll lead to a setup for Lawrence. Another good get by Laime. Laime now a little bit more comfortable on her feet, able to shoot. She does so very well. Half out. Once again, the winner of this match will go on to face the number 1 seeded Montse Mejia and Alexandra Herrera tomorrow at noon. We'll have that match live streamed for you and many more tomorrow. Holly Scott now center of the court. And avoidable the call. Munoz and Laime once again disagreeing with the referee, but still have not requested line judges. Up top goes Laime. It's going to be Lawrence's ball. Munoz now goes up top, this time for Scott. It's going to be a setup. Setup for Scott this time. Setup for Laime. Who can put the first setup away that they see? So far, it's been no one. That time Munoz tried her hand, and that time Scott may not have put it away, but she put it far enough away from everyone else that it didn't matter. It'll be a timeout taken by Munoz and Laime. We'll take a short timeout ourselves. Don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back for the exciting end of Game 3 in this quarterfinal matchup. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are back. No more timeouts for Munoz and Laime. They are in it till the end. The only way they get a break is if Lawrence and Scott take one. Munoz that time hitting it, giving Scott the setup, and Scott just unable to capitalize on that one. Laime, backhand half lob. Scott unable to track that one. It'll be another point for Munoz and Laime. For serving 9. Laime, half-hearted drive serve. And now Scott almost hits Lawrence. A little miscommunication in the center of the court there. Scott maybe a little overzealous to take that one. Scott goes up top. Munoz now back up top to Scott. Scott will shoot to Munoz, and it's a Munoz and Scott battle until Laime gets involved right there. And finally, it's the hometown girl in Lawrence that puts it away. Still 5 serving 9. Half out. Lawrence overhead. Brendan Laime now shooting. Now it'll be Scott's turn. Tries to put it far enough away from Laime, but Laime gets to it and it cracks out, as Lawrence was unable to get to that one. Half lob up the wall, going to Kehlani Lawrence. Off the back wall is Scott shooting. That one just skips in. It's now 7 serving 9. Wonder if Scott and Lawrence are thinking about taking a timeout right now. I get the head nod from Malia Bailey, their coach. Yes, that would be a good idea. However, neither player looking at her for advice yet. Munoz, second serve. 7 serving 9. Lawrence going to take that one from above her head. Laime goes up top. This is going to be tough. Scott going to go around the world. Munoz to shoot. Great shot right there by Carla Munoz. That definitely builds her confidence. And Munoz and Laime will get a break as Scott and Lawrence take a timeout. We'll be back for the finish in this thrilling game number 3 in the quarterfinal action of our doubles here in Virginia at the Greenbrier North YMCA branch. Right back on LPRT Live. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Returning to the court are all 4 players in this exciting quarterfinal matchup. Once again, the winner will go on to face the 1-seeded Montse Mejia and Alexandra Herrera, who had a first-round bye in this division. Women's pro doubles draw. It's our last match of the night. Crowd still here in full force. A great diving get right there by Holly Scott. Now it's Holly's turn to shoot. She will. Laime takes it down. A good ball. 9 serving 9. As I alluded to before, this is our last match of the night. We will bring you the doubles semifinals tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. and then again at noon. Those will be our first matches of the day tomorrow. Laime able to reach and get that one. Scott having to move forward. Munoz having to dive for that one. Munoz unable to get the second one. Scott and Lawrence back in the box. 9 serving 9. Lawrence to serve. Little half overhead Z. Scott's going to bring it down. Laime shooting. Lawrence shooting. And now they're 1 point away from victory. This will be a setup. Laime back at the court, shoots it well. Lawrence was able to get a racket on it. Lawrence got a racket on it again. Laime shooting. Lawrence shooting. Munoz up top. Scott pins herself against the wall. Ill-advised. Munoz shooting. Lawrence. Laime. Scott shoots. And Lawrence almost caught that with her bare hand, but not the racket. The racket's the only thing that counts in racquetball. 10 serving 9. Scott serving. Match point opportunity number 2. Setup, Laime, center of the court. She puts it away. 2 match points for Team USA. Neither one capitalized on. Could that come back to cost them, or can they hold them here? Laime and Munoz gonna try to advance. Between the legs for Lawrence. Setup. Setup for Munoz off the back wall. Now Scott pummeling one. Replay is going to be the call. I tend to agree with the referee on that one. I think Brenda Laime was able to get out of the way. Scott now shooting one from over her shoulder, and it'll be match point opportunity number 1. Ten serving 10. Laime lob. Scott shooting. Scott will most likely shoot again. She does. Laime up top. How many times can Scott shoot? Game point, match point, opportunity number 2. Carla Munoz to serve. Will she go to Scott? Will she go to Lawrence? Anticipation building. The intensity in this building can be cut with a knife. Set up front, and it goes out of play, and that's how this one will end. A ball shot out of play. That's the first one we've seen all weekend. And Carla Munoz and Brenda Laime will win this one 15-12, 7-15, and 11-10 over the hometown favorites, Kailani Lawrence and Holly Scott. It was a great day of racquetball here at the Chesapeake, Virginia Greenbrier North YMCA. The Battle at the Beach, the LPRT season finale. We look forward to joining you tomorrow, our final day here in Chesapeake, Virginia, at 11 a.m. for Longoria and Salas versus Mendez and Vargas. Then at noon for your other doubles semifinals. We'll have more exciting action. Our singles final at 5, doubles final at 6. We'll be bringing you all 4 of those matches tomorrow here on the LPRT network. Tune in tomorrow for more exciting action.